Hey, what's going on, guys? Larry Milburn here from Roadie Free Radio. Thanks for tuning in and watching me early morning record an intro for episode number 62 of the Roadie Free Radio podcast with today's guest, Brian Speiser, front of house engineer and production manager for Tedeschi Trucks Band. Fantastic band, fantastic guy. Very excited for today's episode. If you are tuning in for the first time, I only record the intro here. If you want to hear the full thing, you've got to hit the link in the description below for the full episode, and you can hear everything right there. So I only go up to the intro, do the intro, and then I will sign off, which you will see. But here you get to see me in my lair doing the podcast, doing the show right here. We keep it all open. Transparency is king. Anyway, I got things queued up. It's early. And my voice is a little crackly. I'm a little tired, but I've got some coffee. We're going to get through this thing. I'm excited for it. Listen, if you like what you see, if you're interested, hit the like button. If you want to keep informed about what's going on, hit that subscribe button. We got new videos coming out every week. And what else can I tell you about that? I don't know. Stay tuned. All your roadie news. It's right here. Here we go. Let's fire this thing up. I'm excited. Everything's properly selected. Good. Bam. Whoops.
What's up, roadies? This is Sean Quackenbush.
This is Robert Scoville.
What's happening, roadies? This is Brian Speiser, and you're listening to Roadie Free Radio.
What's up, roadies? My name is Larry Milburn, and this is Roadie Free Radio, your VIP pass to meet and greet the stars behind the scenes of the music and film business. Yo! What is going on, roadies? Happy Labor Day to you. Good morning, good evening, good night, whatever time zone you happen to be in. I'm in the one where it's 20 of 7 in the morning, and I'm sitting in a barn in Northwest Connecticut chatting with you. What's going on? Larry Milburn here. I'm super excited. This is episode number 62. Today's guest is Brian Speiser, production manager, front of house engineer for the Tedeschi Trucks Band. Excuse me, I've got a little frog in my throat. It's been an early morning, and we're doing this, man. Here we go. Did you have a good weekend? Have you had a nice last week? How's everybody doing? Any of our friends in Texas, are you okay? How are things going? Are you surviving? It's wet. I'm sorry that you're dealing with this. What an incredible, epic disaster. I hope any of our fans out there are doing okay, and our thoughts are with you. And hang in there. All right. Listen, a couple quick things. I'm going to keep it brief this morning because this is a long episode with our friend Brian, and I want to get to it. First of all, we got another good friend, Leroy Parnell, the great Leroy Parnell, slide guitar player out of Nashville, Tennessee, was a featured artist in a film that I did a couple years ago called Brass, Glass, and Steel, the making of Arlen Roth's Slide Guitar Summit. And I caught up with Leroy in Nashville a couple years ago for the film. Really sweet guy, hell of a player. He's got his own signature Les Paul, which is gorgeous. And anyway, Leroy's got a new record that just came out, Midnight Believer. I've listened to a couple of tracks. Pretty awesome. The guy can sing. He's obviously an incredible slide guitar player. So I wanted to give Leroy a shout out. Has anybody been jumping into Long Strange Trip, the Grateful Dead documentary? I basically just finished it up last night. It's pretty awesome. It's pretty epic. I was talking to a buddy of mine who's a huge Deadhead going way back, and he thought it was cool, but he had some questions. You know, why is Bill Graham basically never mentioned? Nothing about the Fillmore, nothing about the Avalon, none of that kind of stuff. They kind of gloss over several keyboard players. So interesting film. Episode 3, if you haven't seen it, by the way, Episode 3 pretty much covers the entire road crew and their sound system and gets into those personalities. Very cool. That's the episode, frankly, I was kind of drooling over. Just the whole community and how they got this traveling circus around the world as many times as they did is pretty fantastic. So hats off to them. So Long Strange Trip, check it out. Don't forget, guys, all this kind of stuff. Leroy Parnell's new album, links for the Long Strange Trip, all this stuff is in the show notes on roadiefreeradio.com for this episode. And I will also be doing some posts through social media this week so you can catch it there. The last thing I wanted to let you know about on the sort of news front that I found out is that the Power Station studio in New York City has sold to the Berklee College of Music. Power Station then became known as the Avatar, and they're not quite sure what it's going to be. It's a 33,000 square foot Midtown Manhattan complex, and it's sold somewhere between $23 million and $28 million, and the hope is they're going to keep it a recording studio or some kind of educational space for people. But a lot of amazing albums. Born in the USA, Bruce Springsteen was done there. Peter Gabriel, Meatloaf's Bat Outta Hell, and a lot of great people. So anyway, just thought you might want to know that if you didn't know that already. And let's see what else. All right. So today's Monday, Labor Day. Wednesday, in 2 days, if you're listening to this before Wednesday the 6th, I'm going to be interviewing Greg Howard on Wednesday the 6th. Greg Howard from Three Monkeys Amps. Longtime guitar tech to a lot of amazing people. And now he owns Three Monkeys Amps. You got any questions for me to ask Greg? Anything particular you want to know? Let me know. info@roadiefreeradio.com, and I will get that answer or question to Greg, and we'll break it down for you. Also, the next day, on the 7th, I'm meeting up with Barbara Copeland. I've been talking about this one. I'm meeting up with Barbara Copeland, daughter to the famous booking agent Ian Copeland, up at Telefunken. We're going to do this. They're going to host us up there. And if you've got any questions for Barbara about her dad, Ian, he was instrumental really in bringing a lot of the new wave artists, Thompson Twins, the Specials, the Police. I mean, the guy was huge in what he did and the ground that he broke for an entire genre from England over to here in the U.S. So if you got any questions about Ian, hit me up, info@roadiefreeradio.com, and we will get those answered. One more thing before we get to the show. If you are out on the road and you are looking for a nice, small solution to carrying around a bunch of microphone boom stands, I have it for you. If you're a podcaster, take note. AirTurn makes an awesome stand called the Go Stand. It is my go-to stand that I use. It's a collapsible boom stand. It collapses down about half the size of a regular boom stand. You can fit this in your suitcase. It is awesome. I have 2 of them. I use them all the time. I'm out on the road. My guests that I come to can attest to the fact that I whip out these crazy little stands and boom, boom, boom. Next thing you know, they are the size of a full microphone boom stand. So that is the AirTurn Go Stand. AirTurn is the maker of a lot of cool Bluetooth effects pedals and things like that to help control your iPad if you're a singer-songwriter, or maybe you're a roadie trying to control an iPad for your artist to turn the page, get some lyrics, stuff like that. If you use the code ROADIE when you check out at AirTurn, you get 20% off your entire order. 20%. That's a hell of a bargain. All right, AirTurn Go Stand. Links for that are below. Okay, let's get to today's guest, Brian Speiser. I hooked up with Brian. I did 2 interviews in one day, which I do sometimes. I went to the city. I met up with our previous guest, Miss Catherine Turman, and then I drove from her place over to Brian's place, and Brian wanted me to meet him in his apartment to check out his listening room. I first met Brian, though, when I was in Simsbury, Connecticut for the Tedeschi Trucks show. Nice guy. I said, dude, I'd love to have you on the show. He said, great. Had to wait for him to get off tour. Hooked up with Brian, and I walked in the apartment. He asked if I wanted an adult beverage. I said, surely. And he made me a Mexican Mule, it was my new favorite drink. But I have to say, could they not have come up with a better, name for this drink? A Mexican Mule? It just doesn't sound right. You know what I mean? How about the Dirty Roadie? Can we do that? Tequila. It's nice. It is a good drink. Anyway, I had one of those, put me right in the mood. And Brian is a deeply passionate guy. He has been, his resume, and I talk about this in the interview, his resume is not that long, right? Because he's been with the same people for so long. Tedeschi Trucks, Indigo Girls, 311, Brandi, Carlile, They Might Be Giants, Ryan Adams, People Are Wrong, OK Go. He spent a lot of time with SK Systems out of New York, out of Long Island. Came out of there with Bobby T's. He's a close friend of Bobby T's. But really, he is super, super passionate. He's also, I've got to give this a shout out. I got to give two things a shout out. One, his systems tech, Chris Bedry. He talks about him and how important Chris is to his job and what he does. Also, Brian has a website called vinylAnswer.net. He is super passionate about albums, vinyl, making vinyl, doing it correctly, not getting ripped off. We talk about it at the front of the episode, so check it out. If you want to get in touch with him, you can go to vinylAnswer.net, or you can send him an email at info@vinylAnswer.net. Go check it out, see what he's doing, send him an email. If you have any questions, if you're starting a collection, if you want to record and have it put onto vinyl, he knows the whole damn process, and he will take you through it. So let's get to it, because we got a lot talking about here, me and my friend Brian. Anyway, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Happy Labor Day. Please be safe out there. Have an amazing week. Hit me up if you have questions for Greg Howard or Barbara Copeland. And I think that just about does it for me today. Here comes our good friend, Brian Speiser. Okay, there you go. That's the intro. That's the episode. Episode number 62. Hit that link below, and it'll take you to the full episode. You can hear everything that I talked to Brian about. We had a good time. All right? Thanks for tuning in today. Again, if you like what you see, hit the like button. If you like this video, subscribe, and you will be notified when new videos come out. In the meantime, you guys be safe. Good luck. Have fun. No roadies. No rock and roll.